The very first state I'm going to start off with is obviously going to be the state of Florida, land that I love, the free state of Florida, the wonderful peninsula that juts out into the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm going to start by reading this poem that I wrote when I was a freshman in college. During the age of exploration, when Captain Juan Ponce de Leon led 3 vessels on a trip, crossed the sea, hoping to see the fountain of youth, legend was it'd replenish all who took a sip. He arrived shocked to see no supernatural springs, nor magic waters with youth restoring powers. Instead, he found a new land he named La Florida, because the peninsula was full of flowers. Oh, wow. What a tongue twister. Who wrote that? That was me. I wrote that when I was a freshman. It was our poetry section of our language arts class my freshman year of college, and we could just write a poem on anything for extra credit. And I actually wrote the story of how Florida got its name, which is what I named the poem, is the story that we learned about in 4th grade which is half legend, half history, of the Spanish explorers coming to Florida and just being in awe of how beautiful the land was, always in full bloom, evergreen, full of color. And so I wrote that poem because I was inspired by that story. And I love being a Floridian. I was born here, and my mother and father were born here, and my grandparents were born here, and my great-grandparents were born here. I like to say that I'm a 4th-generation Floridian on both sides, only because I can't actually count farther back. I could be a 5th, 6th, 7th generation. And so I'm not just like, oh, my parents were born in Buffalo, and they got tired of the cold, and so when they retired, they bought a vacation property in West Palm. Like, no, I am a true American, not just American, but Floridian on both sides of my family. Everyone lives in Florida, both sides. And I really feel like Florida is my birthright. Like, my family is hardworking, middle class, working class people who really built up Florida for generations. And that's why I love it so much, is because like this is the land that nurtured my family for generations, and I want to preserve it for my children, and I want to live here for the rest of my life. I'm a proud Floridian, and everyone likes to make fun of us. Oh, Florida man this, Florida man that, but it's because there's so many of us down here. But there's very few non-transplants. I'm not a Yankee, no Yankees in my family, but I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be a Floridian. And so my very first story, I gave way too much context that I'm typically going to give, is probably going to be the story of my baby sister being born, because that's my very first memory, and she was born in Florida. And I remember my mother and my father coming home with her, and she looked so beautiful. She looked unreal. It was surreality. And so I was in awe at how tiny she was and how she couldn't open her eyes. And that was one of my very first memories, was my baby sister